What's going on, everyone? This is Sheets with Bobby Fi. You might see a new overlay in the background. That's because we're joining PayDirt, and we're going to be starting to do some streams, kind of co-streaming the TrueDFS YouTube channel and the PayDirt YouTube channel. And when I do my live sweats, I'm going to also go on my Twitch and my YouTube and all this stuff, and just kind of learning how all the new software works. And we're going to eventually get a hang of the best way to deliver this content, given the new tools that we have available to us. We used to just kind of like put SaberSet up there and just kind of like roll with lineups and refer to my projections, or to whoever's projection we're using. But we're going to try to figure out the best way to do this going forward. As I become a little more familiar with the way the PayDirt systems work, I'll be able to toggle back and forth seamlessly between them. But like anything else, it's kind of a learning curve. So we'll have to see. Now, this is special Millie Maker edition. We have the 2500, which I did have a C2. Thank you very much. And I entered all this other stuff today. I won a couple of things, and I'm sitting here really debating whether I want to put another entry in. I don't think I'm going to, just because there's just so much freaking variance on this freaking slate, and so many guys I've never heard of playing, and so many guys I've never heard of playing that are going to be like 80% owned. You know what I mean? Like just a combination of that. I'm probably going to only do the one, and it's a very, very big slate. And as we talked about kind of pre-show, I mean, just when you think you're out, it was safe to go back in the water, like more news drops, So I'll say this: whoever wins the $1 million tonight will have earned it. I mean, that's for sure. And it's going to go all the way to the end, because the very, very last bit of chalk is in the very last game. Okay, so no one is safe until the last Sacramento piece of garbage player is taken off the court. Okay, I mean, I guess the way I was looking at this slate is that there were kind of, in my head, there were like three main pockets of value. There's one from the Sacramento, one from the Indiana, and then also there was some Charlotte. And then if this Philadelphia thing turns into something, we'll have to kind of take a look at that. And yeah, Dylan, at 10:30 tonight, I am going to go live, and we're going to sweat all the lobbies, and also going to do a PGA lineup build as well. So what have you taken a look at? I mean, what do you like tonight?
So I don't like anything. This is a great reminder of why you don't play DFS sometimes, like the NBA says much. However, I was looking forward to tonight, and I thought that because I very foolishly thought, because last games before the All-Star break for all these guys, that maybe we get like an actual performance and people want to play, but these guys don't want to play. I'm turning into the okay boomer guy now, Sheets. I'm getting fed up with this stuff. I think it's ridiculous. I think the NBA's got to get a handle of it on it. It's ridiculous. The resting players mid-game, after, it's the whole thing before not just the players who aren't playing, but the players who are playing. You can't get a minutes projection for anybody who plays for the Jazz. Are you serious? You know what I mean? Figure it out. It's been 42 years we've done this with the NBA. The team with the worst record getting the best odds of a lottery. Yeah, well, it's better than just giving them the straight number one pick. Get it out of here. Just get it completely the hell out of here. Make it so after the All-Star break or something, even though it's not at the All-Star break yet, just do something different. That's my just rant to start off with. However, as I said,
I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, can you project Isaiah Collier for 48 minutes?
Why?
I don't know. He did it twice in a row.
He played 48?
Yeah, two games in a row.
Jesus Christ.
I believe
I was high on Collier. Now I'm lower on him because
that's the case. Yeah, 2 games in a row. Actually, yeah, 2 games in a row, a few back. He went 48, and then 2 days later, 48 again.
Jesus.
And then now they're resting him for load management, only making him play 32 and 34 minutes.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I guess that's one. I mean, they've been leaving him in. The problem is they ended up coming back. They ended up winning that last game while they rested everybody. So it didn't even work in Miami, which I liked what Bam Adebayo said after the game. We have to beat the teams that are trying to lose.
That's really funny.
It's a great one. It's got to stop.
One thing I will say, by the way, I mean, Miami is good.
Are they?
They're good. I mean, I don't know if their players are good, but when they play, they're very sharp. I mean, Spoelstra is a great coach, and I saw them play like the Bulls who were trying. And I'll tell you this: Miami does usually do a good job against teams that are trying to lose.
Usually they just losing to the Jazz when they take out all their starters except for Collier with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter is kind of unbelievable.
But I will say this: I'll talk to you about this. You know where I'm going this weekend on Saturday? I'm going to Austin for a couple of days.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I get some opinions from you. I know you were just there. But then we're coming back. I'm talking about two teams that are not tanking. I'm going to the Knicks. I'm going to Knicks home against the Pistons.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. And the only problem you have is that there can't really be a fight because everybody's suspended from the other fight. So you don't get to see everybody out there. Okay. So let's talk about it. Okay. Look, Indiana right now, I'm showing them as having 9 players. Now there is a chance we've got, okay, I'm just looking at the project. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 players projected with 2 of them still being questionable. I think they're only going to play 8 players tonight, basically, for the most part. 5, 6, 7, 8. I still can't believe when I look back that I can't believe that's actually the case. But they only have 9 guys available.
Yeah, I got all 9 of them projected.
And they actually all project, reasonably well because there's only 9 guys. I think Quentin Jackson obviously is the most logical of the bunch. Probably followed by Micah Potter. Then I guess you'd say Jarris Walker if he plays. I'm actually worried that he might Indiana did this a couple times last year. He might be listed in and they might still only play 8 guys if they're really worried about him, which from what I heard around the industry, around other things I listened to, seems to be an actual concern. So where I'm getting 70% Jarris Walker, I'm a little bit nervous about that. And I'd like to get some idea. Now, if they announce him starting, we know that's not going to be an issue. But if he's not starting and he's officially available, I'd be very concerned about a play like that because you have so much value out there. Devin Carter is projecting as this, tremendous play. I can just say the same thing about the Jazz guys, though. If he's playing well, be careful. They might just pull him because these are the teams battling for the final 4 spots, worst spots. So Devin Carter is in that game against the Jazz. I am tempted to I have 0 Jazz in my lineup, but if I did, I would just X them all out probably. I just have no interest in messing with this nonsense.
Well, one thing we could talk about is if you want to go to real old school DFS theory, if you decide to go and play all these Sacramento guys, it might not be a bad idea to just take a stand on some Utah dude, and not go. Maybe just play like Markkanen or somebody like that.
The problem is you get no value out of it because you're not playing for a close game because they're not going to. The only guy they've let play in the close games, as you've mentioned, is Collier, and that's because they're literally trying to lose as best they can. They have to play these guys some minutes, and the weirdest part is at some point, it's going to flip the other way, and these guys are going to become great players. Because this is a game they might not have a choice but to just win. They might just win by accident.
Has Jaren Jackson Jr. gotten run for Utah?
No, they do the same thing every game. They pull him out after he plays great. They're up. They get up in every game, and then they pull him out. And actually, he's played great. Markkanen's played great. They just no, because this is it. They're done with their tanking. They built a nice future for themselves. Congratulations to them. Also, if you're playing on FanDuel today, the one thing I did want to mention, it's a very different slate because there's not really this value doesn't mean quite as much because basically because there's no Jokic on the slate. And even on DraftKings, there's really only one, spend all the way up. We don't have Luka, we don't have Giannis, we don't have that kind of stuff. We've got Jokic really. And then you get into the Cades and the Jaylen Browns and the Jalen Johnsons, but it's a very big difference between those tiers of players. You got 12.5 point difference in the projection depending on where you look. I just think that with right now, I just think you play Jokic. The only problem is you actually have some awesome plays at center. So awesome. You have Drummond at 4,500 for Philadelphia. You have Paul Reed at 5,100 with no other 5,500 with no other guys around him in New York because both their other centers are gone. So that's the only issue. Otherwise, I would kind of be tempted to you know what? I'm just going to lock Jokic in and then adjust on every between every slate, because between all the late swaps and all that, because I don't really see why you wouldn't just play Jokic outside of the blowout. And even with the blowout, he should still probably get there, like against Memphis. I don't know.
I'll tell you an interesting thing about the NBA, and it's we've talked about this before. We talk about how talented, like literally all of these guys are, and guys that like get like no minutes or whatever it is, like you put them in a position where they could excel. I mean, and all of a sudden, like, who is this that's scoring like 30 real life points and stuff like that? It really just depends on the team's motivation and what they want to do, and it's really weird. So this is not the same example, but so Dominic Barlow for Philly, okay, like obviously he's part of the future or whatever, and like this whole season, he's been playing like 25 minutes and whatever it was, and having like decent games, but whenever I played him, he's been kind of hides a little bit. He hides in the short corner, he does whatever, and then they played against the Clippers, and it was almost as if like it was a new player, like he
who was playing that night. I mean, some of that time you're talking about is no Paul George. Paul George was there. Embiid was there. Quentin Grimes was there. All those guys are here.
This is my point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, Dominic, Barlow, do your thing. And it was just like, okay, no problem. Like,
right. It's really funny.
57 fantasy points in a tuxedo. You're at 3,800.
Right.
Like, so I mean, like, in a way, I mean, you could somehow figure out what these teams are going to do and who's going to be on the court. I mean, these guys, all these 4K guys really have like 50-point upside.
Yep.
If you just know which one it's going to be. What do you think? You think the Pacers, are the Pacers like any different than like the Kings, for example? Like, did you rate one team better than the other as far as the cheap value goes, or no?
Anytime there's 9 players, I'm in.
Okay.
I don't really know how to avoid the 9-player thing, because especially if I think there's a chance only 8 of them play. The only problem is like the Kings only have 10 bodies tonight. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like everybody plays 24 minutes on that team. Like this is the tankathon. The Bulls only have 10 guys available tonight, and the Bulls have no players really. Like, I mean, they have nothing but guards really. They've got Yabusele, who they picked up or whatever, but I think their tallest player is 6'9" that they have on their roster, which is wild. So I actually think the Bulls guys are a little like, the problem is, again, we're in the tank mode, and it's hard to know how to play these tanking teams. And I mentioned the Sacramento.
I'll tell you who's not in tank mode. Like the Celtics.
Oh yeah, no, they're going for it.
So I mean, this is a bad spot for Chicago. I'll tell you that. Like,
yeah, and that's why I don't like the Jaylen. Like, Jaylen Brown is going to rate to be one of the best plays.
But how is he going to be playing full minutes this game? I mean, like,
I honestly I couldn't tell you the answer to that. Now the thing about the Bulls guys is will have a bunch of guards, so I guess they could get hot from 3 and keep it close-ish. That's a way he could get there. But let's be real about it. Let's play Tyrese Maxey instead of Jaylen Brown. Tyrese Maxey's 200 cheaper. We have no Embiid.
And no Embiid, and a game against the Knicks. You know what I mean? He's going to play. He's going to play 40 minutes. It's like.
Yep. And then the other guy is Cade Cunningham in what should be a close game in Toronto, without Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. Not that those guys that necessarily helps him a ton, because he has all the usage that he kind of generally wants. But Duren does have a pretty decent amount of usage, and also they might need him to rebound a little bit more tonight. So I would rank it Jokic, Maxey. And honestly, the Jokic one, the only reason, if we didn't have this value, I don't think he'd even be that much on my radar, because I'm really worried that game turns into a blowout. I actually don't even see how it's possible it didn't. People were saying last night was, they say sure bets, and that's obviously easy to say in hindsight, but I said you have one sure bet last night, and that's that the Lakers are going to get absolutely the floor mopped with them. You know what I mean? And they did.
It was like an AAU game. You know what I mean? Where one guy was like better than like everybody else. And it was like ridiculous.
It's like 37 real life points at halftime. It's like nuts.
Yeah, I mean, even like one step, and who was guarding him? Like Luke Kennard was guarding him.
Yeah, they tried everybody, but nothing worked. When I just watched back today, I'll mention, because I just think the value, you kind of have to plug in what value is the best, and it's pretty obvious who the best guys are. It's Jackson right now, Devin Carter. Anthony Gill is going to look like one that I'm not sure we have to do that. It's the first game. His projection is really high. There's just enough other value out there that I think I'd rather take.
I'm currently getting 0 of Anthony Gill.
Did you update? Did you refresh your thing?
No, I mean, I have a 16-point projection.
I don't know if you're updated because Alex Sarr was announced outright when we came on.
Oh, okay.
And that I think they're accounting. I still think the projection's too high. But I think they're counting on that projection going to Anthony Gill. It'll change when they announce that he's not starting. But he's still going to get some minutes. And he did play 29 and 27 minutes the last 2 games. So he's 3,400. So I'm not saying it's a bad play. I'm just saying because it's at 7 Eastern, maybe that's something you could talk yourself out of. The guy who I'm interested in.
He just went up to 24 fantasy points.
Yeah. There's one guy who's been just dismantling everybody and no one's going to play him, even though you can get to him so easily tonight. I mentioned the other ones, but I think my favorite is Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson has been absolutely crushing it, and he gets the Hornets in what should be a competitive, fast-tempoed game. It's a 2.5-point Hornets favorite spread. Jalen Johnson has gone 60, 71, 64, 73 in his last 4 games. His usage is consistently between 30 and 45. I don't really know why we wouldn't play him. We have plenty of money. It's almost like the price doesn't matter. Like, who's going to be the highest scoring guys? If I had to bet on somebody other than Jokic, I think it would be Johnson, then probably Cade, then Maxey. Probably something very close between.
Well, I'll tell you what. Earlier in the day, I was hearing a lot about these Charlotte guys, and I'm trying to think of this again, kind of old school in terms of like stacking and stuff. Like, so if you like Jalen Johnson, I mean, you could play some of these Charlotte dudes, like the Knuppel. Well, not Knuppel so much, but even Kalkbrenner at 4,900. There's another guy from Charlotte who was really cheap. Even the Saloon is 3K. Lonzo is 8K. He hasn't really done much since they decided he's not a part of the team anymore. So I don't know. Maybe some kind of Jalen Johnson with Charlotte guys, and then play the Indiana guys with the Brooklyn guy, or then play, like I said, the Sacramento guys or the Utah guys, or is it the slate way too big for that?
I mean, the Charlotte guys make sense because Miles Bridges and Moussa Diabate are gone. Grant Williams was really good in the last game without those guys. I don't want to play Grant Williams on this slate, like not in my big buy-in anyway. I'm just throwing out like he's going to end up in probably some of my lineups just because he's 3,800 and he's probably starting. I think the guys you're looking at there are just Brandon Miller and Knippel and Ball. That would be the way that I would want to play it. And right now I'm getting like 37% Ball and 15% Miller, only 10% Knippel. But I have no problem with any of those guys. This is maybe you throw Jalen Johnson with one of these guys on the other side and then just use your value elsewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I like that. I like that idea, Sheets. I think that makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to put the Charlotte with a little thing. And then so like, I really think that, I mean, if these projections are anywhere are correct on Jalen Johnson, I mean, what does the guy have to do? I know he's 10-7, but like, how many fantasy points does he have to score where people start thinking him like maybe the projection's a little bit low?
I'll tell you something else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that his price is going to matter. You know what I mean? Yeah, but all these guys are like 3K. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Does it matter if somebody's 10-2 or 10-7? I don't think so.
I don't think it does.
So I'd take him over Cade. And actually, raw projection points wise, I just disagree with most of the projection systems where they have him. Are you saying are they saying this is not a plus matchup for him? Because basically he's projected below his average, and I don't understand why. So that's my best get different spend up of the day. And I think people are sharp enough to where they're going to end up playing him more than I think, it just doesn't make sense why you wouldn't. I honestly, he just put up 60 against this team the other day. Like, I don't see why, like, what are we waiting for? What does he need to do to actually look like a great play?
Yeah, as you see, I mean, again, I'm just kind of like updating my runs and stuff like that. Like right now, I would be getting like 68% of the Anthony Gill.
Yeah.
With the new update and stuff like that. But again, is there something to be said about, not playing so much of these guys in the early game?
Yes.
I
mean, there's still with all the news we've got, we've still, let me just count the questionables we've got, because they're, I mean, and everything should be treated as a legit question.
Jamal Murray's still questionable, right?
Yeah, Micah Potter, Jarris Walker, Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Edwards is still questionable, although he's probably going to play because he usually does. Devin Booker is still questionable. Tari Eason, Spencer Jones, Jalen Green, all guys still questionable.
What do you think? What do you think of Paul Reed today?
That's the thing, is I like him a little bit, but I mean, I'm going to play him on DraftKings, and
yeah.
The problem is then you're just locking up your center spot with he and Jokic, because
right.
I don't see why you wouldn't play Jokic, especially with the questions about Jamal Murray. The only thing I would say is that the blowout does worry me a little bit, but Sheets, it's not like Jokic is going to score like 48 fantasy points in a blowout. I don't think. I mean,
he always gets his 60.
Yeah, it's not like we're debating him versus somebody else. You know what I mean? And I'll just point out that I'm seeing projections of 49, 50, no higher than 51 at any site that I'm looking at on Jalen Johnson, who averages 53, hasn't scored less than 60 in a couple weeks.
And Charlotte's not exactly like the
just put up 60 against this team in a 2.5 point spread. I am pretty sure in my 2,500 you will see Jalen Johnson in that lineup.
I like it.
That I feel pretty confident about. All right, they're updating still. Wow, they're way behind here on the SS side. So yeah, I guess those are my main takes, and then I will, outside of maybe Anthony Gill.
Wait, no, Noah Clowney is out.
Noah Clowney's wait. They just ruled him in like right before. I know. I just updated my thing. That's crazy.
I just got a notification.
This is the out tanking. 100%. These teams are getting fined over the weekend. I will bet anything on that. They're gonna get fined 100%. You can't do this. You can't just
get some inside information on that.
No, I'm just telling you, man. We saw it last year with the Jazz, and this story going into the All-Star break is just everywhere. It's all you hear. I don't mean DFS. I mean everywhere across the NBA. Why is the NBA? You know, we have the best athletes we've ever had and the best talent.
Wait. So what's this going to mean with that Noah Clowney is out?
I don't know yet.
It's going to mean something. I mean, he's got a lot of use. He has a lot of usage. I mean,
it's going to mean something because Claxton's. It means Day'Ron Sharpe is going to look like a great play.
He already did.
Yeah, but it's going to look better even. And then, I mean, again, this is going to be like a battle of who can lose, though. I think the total in that game is
pretty bad. Nets are pretty bad at losing, though. I mean, they're just bad in general. You know what I mean?
They're bad. They're extraordinarily bad. They don't have a player above 5K, and they barely have anybody available. And how are we not playing some of them? You're right. We kind of have to think that we should be. Anthony Edwards officially a game time decision that just came through. Also,
woo-wee.
Yeah.
Dude,
so this
is going to be $1 million for first, and then like $1 million bonus.
Yeah, this is going to be a shit
impossible.
Oddly tonight, at least FanDuel, they switched with DraftKings. They had the kindness to eliminate the last 3 games of the night to only go to the 8 Eastern. DraftKings said, no, F that. We're playing everything, which I actually usually like. But tonight, yeah. Look, Anthony Gill could 7X, and that still might not be good enough. You know?
Well, you know what? It's all good because regardless of what happens tonight, when ours happens, I want a seat to the king of the baseline.
Oh, the tennis, nice. What is that? What is the
satellite? The king of the baseline is the big final, and it's so funny. This is like the interest-free loan theory because this doesn't get played until September.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they play the finals. They play this out to start the U.S. Open in September.
Oh my God!
They just started running the satellites for it.
Hey, may as well take care of the satellite.
Bank it up. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tickets. Got to get those tickets.
Absolutely. Yeah, Danny Wolf is another one that we're going to probably end up with. Oh my God. All right. Well, I really think it's less interesting to talk about the other guys. I really think if you're using an optimizer, which most of you are, if you're not, ask me a specific 2v2, 1v1, whatever.
Okay. Let's look at something else. Cleveland, Washington. I can't imagine getting exposure from that game.
You're going to get, well, you already have, you just mentioned.
That's the Anthony Gill, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then.
Yeah, but wait a minute. I mean, isn't this the same story? Isn't this game going to be a 25-point game? I mean, like.
Yeah, but that problem is Anthony Gill is, I mean, I don't think he's even projected to start. which is going to lower his projection. But oddly enough, it might actually make him a better play.
I wonder what I'm supposed to do. I wonder if you're supposed to. I guess you just have to let it. You have to play some of it. I mean, you can't exit out. It's too big of a value. I mean,
yeah.
Milwaukee, Orlando probably don't get much from that game.
I mean, like if we're gonna do the Anthony Gill thing, should we maybe just consider the Jaden Hardy if you want to get weird with it? Anyway, I don't want to get into weird.
Wait, what team is he on?
He's on Washington now.
Wait, Jaden Hardy got moved?
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
It's just what is he? How can we count on it? You know what I mean? Like, I think you just have to take your sure minutes here.
Who is Will Riley?
Will Riley is projected to start tonight for Washington at center, and has put up like huge games. Like he put up I think the last 2 times he started, he put up 45 and 40. And he's going to be overlooked. And the weird part is that you don't even have to use a center spot for him.
One thing I will say, there's no rest because you know what? You can't like just say, oh, I'm not playing the 7:00 games tonight.
No, I mean,
you got to deal with the Washington, and you got to deal with the Washington. You got to deal with the Charlotte.
Yeah, the thing is, Washington has the. In a way, I sort of like the Washington. The one thing Washington's got going for them is that they can just play normally and get blown out. You know what I mean?
Right, and we don't know starters.
We don't know yet. I will update once we do have it.
But okay, but I think that like the fun decisions that are gonna maybe help you win the slate are not which terrible value play to play. It's gonna be which stud or sub stud to make it work, like your Jalen Johnson idea, you know?
Yeah.
Or Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, and I promise you right now, the Jalen Johnson thing is one of those things that it might say 6% projected owned. I promise you, in the 2,500, he's 15 to 20%. People are too sharp.
What about and you know, you could just go ahead and play something like Tyrese Maxey, and with Jalen Brunson or Cat or something like that.
I don't think you need a run back on the Knicks. I can't.
You don't need it. But what I'm saying is, you know, if you do that and then you blink and that game's in overtime.
Yeah, then you're golden.
That's what happened the other day. I mean, Jalen Brunson, they went to overtime with somebody.
Yeah. So how can we get this in? So my idea would be to try to get in Jokic, Maxey, Jalen Johnson. Doesn't seem like it should be impossible. Let me just try to do it by hand.
Well, in Chicago, Boston. I mean, maybe again fading the Jaylen Brown. That's a way to access other combinations. You know.
Yeah, and by the way, maybe getting 3 9 to 10K guys is better than playing the Jokic thing. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I go Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Maxey, and Cade Cunningham, and then sort of, you know, just take the value.
Listen, needless to say, you got to be on top of your shit tonight. I mean, like you got to.
Yeah.
If you want to win the $1 million, you're not putting your live at 6:54 and coming back at 11 p.m. You know what I mean? Like you're just straight up donating. I mean, you're gonna have to be around for everything. Now, the good news is that you're not going to be able to do. I mean, okay, you pay attention till 7:25. Once the 7:30 game rolls off, then you might have a break until Anthony Edwards gets ruled out.
Yeah,
right. Because I don't think the Clippers-Houston game is a big deal. I don't think the Portland-Minnesota game is a big deal unless Edwards gets ruled out. Miami-New Orleans game is not a big deal. And then you got to deal with this, with the whether you play Jokic or swap off of that. Maybe Jamal Murray gets ruled out.
Yep.
And then you have to deal with the Sacramento. So you do get a little bit of a break at 7:30, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I just would go back to you never know. And by the way, there was a time where if James Harden wasn't playing, we play Kawhi, and if Kawhi was playing, James Harden's gone. Kawhi is more expensive, but he's another one to throw into that low-owned spend ups.
Oh, Houston doesn't give up a lot, do they? Though.
No. But I mean, the thing is, if you do think the Clippers are going to be in the game, it's going to be hard for them to do without him scoring 50 plus fantasy points.
Okay.
And that's not like a crazy number, but like.
And you can play Sengun too. I mean, like there's stuff you could do.
Yeah, there's stuff you could do. I just don't think that it's a weird team. I don't know There's a lot of weirdness. That was a great trade they made, but I actually thought it's pretty. I don't think it's ever happened, Sheets, where the team that's had the best record over the last 22 games has just blown up their team.
Who, LA?
The Clippers. Yeah, they were over the 18-4 over a 22 game stretch, including some games where Harden and Kawhi and those guys weren't even playing, and they blew up the team because they were able to get an incredible return for Zubac. That's really what it was, but. Anyway, I'm probably going to go so I can try and get my stuff figured out. But I guess that's my take.
I'm definitely going to go because I got to run projections. I got to do whatever. But so I would suggest again to everybody. I mean, you just got to put in the time, man. You got to watch it. Whatever projection set you use, you got to keep on updating it, keep on watching, and just freaking put your head down and grind. You know what I mean? And just keep on updating your stuff. If you want to take a shot in like that first game, and just stack up the Charlotte game, I mean, I got no problem with that. Put a number up. And same thing with Indianapolis, Brooklyn. I mean, if you want to try that, but these Sacramento values are strong.
Yeah, you could play the Atlanta or the Jalen Johnson and the Charlotte spend up. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
Charlotte's going to be fairly popular, but that's a perfect way to build because then you throw Jalen Johnson on the other side. You hope. Hey, maybe that's the overtime game.
Yeah. So unfortunately, again, as people know, I mean, if we're doing baseball and stuff, we're much more chilled and we can take you right up to lock because honestly, all our lineups are pretty much set by the time we even go online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And football too, and UFC obviously easy. Just NBA is just kind of a tough. That's why I listen. A lot of respect to all the content providers that can actually do live before lock all the way till 7 and also play with volume. I mean, God bless you. Because I can't. All right. Well, listen, good luck, everybody. And I guess we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Good luck, man.
Later.
Let's see you, bud.
Mm-hmm.